When we talk about empaths, we're not just describing someone sensitive. We're talking about people whose souls are woven from delicate threads of feeling. This isn't just a personality trait, it's an existential condition, a psychic wound that's been transformed into a gift. To be an empath means living as if the walls between yourself and others have become thin. You breathe not only your own emotions, but everyone else's too. Yet this very gift that makes you shine also makes you dangerous in the eyes of those who claim to love you. Because deep down, they harbor an unconscious envy that eats away at your bond. Envy is one of the darkest emotions. It doesn't admire. It doesn't simply want what you have. It resents. It's a poison that looks at light and wants to either put it out or cover it with shadow. Here's what you need to understand. Envy in relationships is rarely conscious. Few people will admit, even to themselves, that they're envious of someone they say they love. Instead, it shows up in subtle ways, in their tone of voice, in the sudden coldness, in casual remarks that cut like knives, disguised as jokes. Envy is a shadow-born force, and shadows don't march into the open. They creep, they disguise themselves, they hide behind words of affection. So those who pretend to love you may unconsciously be trying to diminish you, to dim your radiance, because the mirror you hold up to them reveals their own poverty of spirit. The empath's gift isn't a choice. It's the destiny of someone whose psychic boundaries were torn open early in life, often by pain, rejection, or abandonment. The child who grows up in a home where love is conditional learns to survive by reading every shift in mood around them. Their safety depends on it. They learn to feel what others feel before those others even know it themselves. They learn to anticipate, to please, and to absorb. This adaptation, forged in suffering, later appears as a beautiful capacity for compassion. But here's the paradox. What was once survival becomes both a blessing and a curse in adult life. The empath carries an open wound that others both long to drink from and secretly despise, because it exposes them. Those who envy empaths don't envy wealth or beauty or success. They envy the soul's light, the capacity to feel truth in its raw immediacy. They envy your authenticity. In Jung's collective unconscious, there's an archetype that governs this drama. It's the wounded healer, someone who, because of their wound, can heal others. But they also attract people who want to steal that healing without acknowledging its cost. These people draw close under the guise of love, but what they really want is to drink from your essence, and once they're filled, they resent you for making them aware of the emptiness inside them. Don't underestimate envy. It's not jealousy. Jealousy wants to possess. Envy wants to destroy. When you shine too bright, the envious person seeks to dim you. Your light reminds them of their own darkness. So they offer you love mixed with subtle sabotage. They withhold praise when you need it most. They laugh at your deep emotions. They minimize the very qualities that make you who you are. They tell you you're too sensitive, that you overthink, and that you dramatize everything. What they mean unconsciously is that your sensitivity disturbs them. It exposes what they can't bear to see in themselves. This is why so many empaths live in confusion. They ask, why do the people I love turn cold? Why doesn't the warmth I give come back to me? The answer is that envy has infected the bond. The very light that drew them to you becomes unbearable because it reveals how fake they are. But let's go deeper. Why do empaths trigger envy in those who pretend to love them? It's not just because you feel deeply. It's because you embody a truth most people run from. Modern humans have grown used to living far from their own depths. They wear masks, what Jung called the persona, and armor themselves against feeling. To meet an empath is to be reminded that the soul is alive and vulnerable. Many can't bear this. So envy becomes a defense of the shallow self against the mirror of authenticity. The threatened persona whispers to the unconscious, "Destroy this one. They show me what I've lost." Here's what you must learn. The empath must set boundaries. Not walls. Walls deny the essence of empathy, but sacred thresholds. Your soul must not be endlessly drained by those who envy what they can't replace. Boundaries aren't cruel. They recognize that your gift must be preserved if it's going to fulfill its purpose. Without them, you get devoured by envy disguised as love. With them, you become a beacon, shining without apology. Think about the myth of Narcissus and Echo. Echo loved Narcissus, but he was trapped in his own reflection. He envied her capacity to feel but couldn't mirror it back, so he gave her nothing but emptiness while secretly hating her vitality. This is how envy and false love twist together. If you find yourself always triggering envy in those who say they love you, recognize that you're a mirror. You show them what they've denied in themselves. And know this, their envy isn't your burden. It's theirs. To carry it for them is to betray yourself. The psychological root of this lies in what Jung called projection. Every person carries a shadow, repressed desires, failures, and inadequacies. When they stand before an empath, their unconscious stirs. They see not only your gift, but also a reminder of what they've refused to develop in themselves. Because the psyche resists what it can't integrate, it attacks. They project weakness onto you. They tell you you're fragile, unstable, and over-emotional. But ironically, they're the fragile ones. They can't endure the raw truths you embrace daily. The danger for empaths isn't just being wounded by envy. It's internalizing it. When you start believing their accusations, you betray yourself. You start thinking, maybe I am too much. Maybe my sensitivity is a weakness. This self-doubt is the poison envy seeks to plant. But here's the turning point. You must confront your own shadow too. There's a part of you that wants to be needed, to be the one who saves everyone. This shadow keeps you bound to envious lovers because you secretly feed on their need. The relationship becomes a tragic mirror. They envy your light, and you cling to their dependence. Liberation comes when you admit, I'm not here to save everyone. I'm here to become whole. This confrontation demands the death of your false self, the eternal caretaker, the one who absorbs everything. When this rebirth happens, envy loses its sting. You see it not as a threat but as a signal. You recognize when someone's admiration is mixed with resentment. You no longer deny it or make excuses. You say, this is envy, this is not love. And you step back. Something remarkable occurs when you refuse to be diminished. You attract a different kind of love. True love doesn't envy. It delights when you shine brighter, because your radiance calls forth its own. So take courage. Don't apologize for your depth. Don't dim your light to comfort those who envy you. Don't mistake pretense for devotion. Walk the path of becoming whole with dignity. Your task is to guard your soul and wait for love that doesn't envy, love that celebrates your being. This is your destiny as an empath who becomes whole. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, not just for more content, but to join a growing space where truth, healing, and self-discovery matter. This is Psyche Thera, and your journey is just beginning.